unconditional love is where two people can be themselves without having to compromise on their value system. And if find that support for each other, it's a great place to be. And that to me means unconditional love.
As it's,
Like you really get a space to be yourself.
you get to just naturally be without, like, I would say, I would even feel like non-judgment, right? Is that where, like,
Yeah.
that's where you're getting at?
Yeah. Non-judgmental, non-opinionated.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And like from my experience of like unconditional love, this idea, like how you explain it as well, it's like I like to think of like I have a younger brother, right? So like
Uh-huh.
when we were younger, I remember we would just be playing video games, right? Not sometimes not even talking, just hanging out in the same space together, we'd hold space together because we had to, right? In a sense, but we accepted
Yeah.
that, and it was just a feeling of just like I didn't have to prove anything. I didn't have to like
Yeah.
I had to say, you know, those people you could just be still with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't that's feel.
Just be.
And a lot of times with like animals, dogs, cats, we can be still with them, right? That's the
Yeah.
beauty of like animals. Like that's why people are like, I prefer animals over people. Like this idea.
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah.
people say that because they naturally feel unconditional love. Because when you look at a tree, right? You look at a plant,
Mm.
it doesn't look back at you with judgment. It can't.
Yeah.
Animals
Yeah.
can't because they can't even talk. But like the idea, like they look so, it's the innocence in their eyes. That's the deepest root
Yes.
of unconditional love. I feel that's why I like to think that people just love babies so much. Because when they look at their
Yeah.
eyes, this is before judgment passes on to the baby, before they could consciously be
Absolutely.
aware of that. So it's like, I love the idea of unconditional love. And I thank you for sharing your definition of it. I find it so fascinating too. Okay?
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Oh my God. This is so good. And I love just this whole like. It intrigues me whenever you question something like, what does that mean? And then it just makes you think about it. And sometimes you get into the minutia every day. But this gives you an opportunity to just like pause and reflect
Ooh,
and revisit.
yes. Anything that causes me to be more present in life, you cannot go wrong. You can't tell me nothing.
Yes.
You can't tell me
Yes.
nothing.
Yes. I love this. I love this so much. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you for taking the time, and both of you.
Yeah.
The love is so deep in that car. I can feel it. I feel it radiating off of you.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All around.
Thank you for being so courageous in online on Instagram and being part of our beautiful community. I really do appreciate everything that you do. I
Thank
see
you
you.
so much. Yes.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you too.
Oh man. Oh man. This is high key turn and key Joe. Woof woof. Cat Stevens. I love my dog as much as I love you. You may fade, my dog will always come through. Shout out to the doggies. I'm gonna try to catch up with these. Coming up next, her words. Her words. She's still in the building. And then after that, Poetry by Spree. We're gonna try to knock this out. Any show starts at 4:29. We in the hoodie though. We in the
Uh,
we in the gutter. We mad. We
I'm
mad.
outside.
I'm upset.
Stop! I'm outside. I'm cold.
Yes, yes. The show, first of all, thank you for joining us, Adele.
Do you hear me?
Clearly,
Really?
what was that?
Do you hear
I
me?
heard. I heard. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Because I'm
Um,
like, this is too loud, maybe. I don't know.
no, it's perfect. Thank you for joining
Okay.
us here today in your hoodie Eminem style. We're talking about self-love, unconditional love specifically. Pero,
Yes.
do you have any, when people don't see the vision and the feeling, because like people can't feel what you're feeling, right? If anybody's listening here, I don't know if you ever had anybody that has ever told you something because somebody else told them that they couldn't do it, right? Or somebody that maybe they've been let down so many times that they don't have the courage or the light within themselves that they can see to believe in not only themselves, but they can't even believe in you, even though what you're doing is beyond great, right? Have you ever felt like that?
Yeah. I'm pretty in my feelings today, and I need you to spread some self-love on me. That's why I'm calling, actually. I'm actually sad today, to be honest. I just had like this huge fight, and with people I care about, right? And they basically told me my poetry is shit, and that like why I'm not looking for a weekend job, instead doing poetry on the weekends, because like where would be the benefits, and I'm not paying any bills with it, and like what does this whole community mean to me anyway? And like how would you guys help me, like in what way could you ever help me? And dude, there was a lot. Like my open mics are shit, and like, why would I write poetry? Like what does it even mean?
Absolutely.
Stuff like that.
Thank you for sharing.
So
Thank,
it
thank you
just
for being
happened.
so open. Yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that from you. So like we could go through everybody in life and be like, dang, MLK, Martin Luther King, he just wrote a speech. Rosa Parks, she just sat in the front of the bus. Albert Einstein just continued educating himself even though he failed in math, right? That's all he did. That's all he did. It comes down to how you perceive life. If you want to see that you're breathing today as a miracle, if you want to see that you did an open mic and that's a miracle, then that's a miracle. It comes down to, at the end of the day, how you want to view it. And I think I have this poem right here, and I always do this for situations where we feel like we need a little pick me up. So I think anybody, let's demonstrate. Thank you for joining us here, Sibel.
Yeah. Stop.
Sibel, I declare in this moment here and now that you have never been lost and have always been found, deeply in love with yourself, as your soul has always announced. And whenever you get that feeling and you start seeing that maybe you think you can't do this and it's not worth pursuing, see that you are one of a kind. Bar, set, literally no other man, woman, or child will ever act, talk, look, love, and be like Jesus. Because every drip that you ever drips onto a to your Burger King. Hi, my name is Hope. May I take your order? Yeah, I'll take the number one. I've always been enough with a bottle of water. So you could throw that at fear and shame, screaming filthy obscenities, screaming filthy obscenities, screaming filthy obscenities when they get thirsty, trying to make me seem guilty. The only thing I see in this woman right here, ever feeling, is that her worth is worth the rebirth, phoenix rising. Thank y'all for listening to that. That's like living proof. If y'all find unconditional love, right? Because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes life gets hard, and like the people around you may not be the ones that pick you up. Like sometimes family is blood, but sometimes it's not what we ask for in that sense. So I think it's beautiful to recognize that. Look, it's good to have like love for yourself. Who you surround yourself with also is so important. How you view life as well, from that point of view.
Sorry, my phone. I did hear the poem though. Thank you. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was for
Yeah.
everybody too as well, because sometimes we get in these situations where it feels like we're going uphill battles though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the only way it really hurts me this much is because it means so much, Like if I wouldn't care about poetry or all of you, like I wouldn't feel this way. So yeah.
Absolutely. So
So
I don't know if anybody knows, like, okay, so how do you love yourself, Sibel? Do you write poetry to love yourself? Do you go for walks? Is there
yes,
anything?
but it's so easy for me. Like if someone else tells me it's shit, it's so easy for me to believe that it's shit, And that just annoys me, like because now I know every time they see me, they be like judging, like, oh wow, it's Saturday and she's doing poetry again. Well, she could be looking for a weekend job, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I stood there and I was like, you have no idea what this means to me and you don't have to understand it. And I was like, I don't stand up for myself a lot, but doing it right now really shows me that I'm loving what I'm doing. It's just really hurting if people you love judge you like this.
100%, right? And that
Yeah.
pain is real, right? Like
Yeah.
it's probably right here. It's probably like right here,
Yeah.
and it hurts. So
Yeah.
if you were I think this is so important. If you were like listening to yourself right now, what would you tell yourself? Like if you were like 10 years from now, when you're a poet on tour and you're on stage and you're screaming your name and like dropping bars and the crowd's just going crazy and they're yelling Sabelle, like what would you tell yourself right now just from going through all that experience of living your dream?
But probably keep going. Because
What was that?
there, keep going,
Keep going where?
because my path, keep going on my path. Because I'm sure there will always be be people who hate on what you do. It's just, it shouldn't be the one you consider family, and that just hurts. So I will definitely keep doing it because I love it and I know how I feel about it, how I felt about it before they just told me all of this. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I respect you. I respected you before, but I respect you on a different level now because how inspiring you are right now, being open and vulnerable. If any 28, 27 of y'all are listening right now, slide in Sabelle's DM and say, keep going to her. Just message her real quick. Keep going. So it's 28, 27 people, all in her messages that says, keep going. Because when she turns to that, she's going to see that. And then we get to be in the audience and cheer for her because everybody, I believe in every single one of you guys, no matter what you're going through. And this community is going to help me, and it has helped me, and it's going to continue to help Sabelle in the most non-judgmental kind of way. Because if you feel like taking a step back and you don't want to keep doing this, we will embrace you. If you feel like this is your dream, we will embrace you. So this is why the definition of our community is like literally right here. This woman right here in the hoodie, this is our
Thank you.
community, right?
So are you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank
Sending
you.
you sending you lots of unconditional love.
Thank you. Thank you for listening and creating the space to be, open about stuff.
Absolutely, Sabelle.
Love you, Chris.
Love you too.
Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Hard not to get emotional. It is really hard not to get emotional. I really care about you guys, all of you. Coming up next, fuck, Poetry by Sri, and then Andy's show. Andy's show, 429, music heals, right? I'm gonna listen to so much good music later on today. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, what's up, Sri? Sri, your face is everything. Oh,
Why?
fuck.
What happened?
No, like how I feel is like what I like see. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to talk a little bit because I'm a little.